All right, continuing on with binomial distributions. You're going to need your calculator, so if you want to pause and go get it, it's essential today. There are three basic problems that we're going to look at. We could do a wide variety, but we're just going to take the basic ones and move on. Joe is a 75% free throw shooter. He shot for a very long time. We are going to assume that he's 75%. But he only made 7 out of 12 free throws in the game, which is just a little bit above 50%. What is the probability that he makes exactly 7 out of 12? This word exactly is big, okay? It's going to help us determine what buttons we're going to push. There is a little bit of work that we have to do before we start hitting buttons on our calculator. We need to tell AP, tell me that you know that this is a binomial distribution. Let's check. Are there two options? Yes, he either makes or misses a shot. Are there a fixed number of outcomes? Yes, he shoots 12 shots. We already said that he is a 75% free throw shooter. We'll assume independence. We assume that he's not going to get tired. Okay, we're going to assume that he's not going to get tired, that one shot does not affect the other one, so we're going to move on. We will want to write down that it's binomial. Then we want to write down how many shots he's going to shoot. That is the letter N. N is the sample size, so N equals 12. What is the probability of success? So P equals, hey, he's a 75% free throw shooter. And then we kind of have to write down a math sentence. So in this case, it's exactly, so it's going to be, we're going to say X equals 7. This is the important information. It's binomial. He's shooting 12 shots. The probability makes it 75%. And we are looking at X equaling exactly 7. Now it's time for our calculator and to hit the right buttons. So make sure you turn it on. You're going to go to second distribution, and you're going to go all the way down until you see binomial. And I think there's two of them. We're going to use the second one in a minute, but we are using PDF because it's an exactly. It's an X equal. It's a point. So we're using PDF for an exact. So hit enter. And yours might look a little different than mine. I think yours looks more like NPX type of a thing, but that's where we're going to type in. We're going to type in this stuff over here. N is 12. I think it might say trials on yours. I think yours says P. P is 0.75, 0.75, and then X equals 7. Now, hopefully you're thinking the probability makes exactly 7, not 6, not 8. It's fairly low. And you're right, this should be fairly low. And the answer is just 10% or so. PDF is an exact. PDF is an X equals. All right, we're going to move on. Where to go? This one. Number 2. What is the probability that he made 8 or less? We have a button on our calculator that does or less. So we're still going to write down the important bits of information. We know it's binomial. We know that N is still 12. He's still a 75% free throw shooter. But this time we want X is less than or equal to 8. Not an equal to. Our calculator does do something or less. Our calculator does exactly number 2. It doesn't do exactly number 3, but it does exactly number 2. So let's go back to our calculator. You're going to go second vars, and you're going to go back down to binomial. But this time, we're not going to do PDF. we're doing CDF. CDF stands for cumulative, and we are going to do that. So binomial CDF, we're going to do 12, and then 0.75, and then we're going to do 8 or less. So hit enter, and the probability that it makes 8 or less is 35%. 35%. Again, our calculator does something or less. Now the hard part is the next problem. And it's the last one. It is, what's the probability that he made more than 9 out of 12? All right, so let's write down what we know. We know it's binomial. We know n equals 12. We're still shooting 12 shots. Probability he makes a shot still 75. And this one is more than 9. So you could do multiple of these. We're not including 9. So this is x greater than 9. Now our calculator doesn't do greater than 9. It doesn't do greater than. It just does something or less. So what we have to do is figure out what's the opposite of greater than 9. Well, what is the opposite of greater than 9 is 9 or less. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the probability of 9 or less. Now that's not my answer. My answer is not 9 or less, but it's the opposite of it. So we're going to do 1 minus the probability of 9 or less. This is what we are going to do. So we're going to take our calculator. We're going to go to CDF because that is or less. So we're going to go down to binomial CDF. And we're going to find the probability out of 12 shots. He is a 75% free throw shooter and the making 9 or less. So in our calculator, it's that 12.75 comma 9. So this is the probability of 9 or less. 61%. 61%. So there's a 61% chance that he makes 9 or less. So my answer is 1 minus 61%. So it should be 39%. So that one you're kind of have to go backwards on. Make sure that you show work for binomial. I know a lot of it's in your calculator, but this is your work. If you have any questions, let me know. I think I have a joke, so let me erase this. I think it's even a Christmas joke. Isn't that exciting? Oh wait, I have 2 of them. What do you call Saint Nick when he doesn't move? Santa Paws. What did the gingerbread man put on his bed? Cookie sheets. All right, have a good one.